All right, buddy, you're gonna go thrifting with Mama? Oh, it's this store right here with the monkey on it.
Okay.
Welcome back, nesters. Today we're heading into the thrift store to see what we can find for vintage Christmas and other various vintage items. This thrift store I went to on Small Business Saturday. I was trying to go out and about supporting all the local businesses, so this is a smaller thrift store in my area, and yeah, let's go ahead and see what they had today. This was one of the first things I put into my cart. I love this style Christmas ball for my toddlers. They are not breakable and they are vintage. They're probably from around the 1980s and they're pretty cute. They have really nice graphics on them. And then I looked through this Christmas stuff here. I did find this vintage 1963 Relpo container. I don't know if it's for a candle perhaps or some kind of a vase, but I thought it was really cute. I was happy to see so many Christmas options today in this store. I hadn't been having much look at the Goodwill, the larger thrift stores, so it was nice to know that this local thrift store definitely had some things. Maybe not as much vintage as I would have liked, but there's definitely a lot of cool things to look at. I was trying to get to this bottle brush tree in the back. Originally I thought the Santa was attached to it, but I found out he wasn't. And this seems to be a little bit more modern, but it was super cute. It's one of those stocking hangers, and I really like the looks to it. It was marked $1.99. They did have some loose bottle brush trees there that were not priced, so I didn't pick them up. I guess I could have took them up to the register easy enough and asked on a price for them, but I don't know. Normally I would have got those. I like to craft with them in different vintage Christmas displays. I spied this tree in the back and I was kind of interested in it. You could tell it was one of those hand-painted ones. It had the bulbs and it lit up, and I was surprised when I pulled it out that it actually had these carolers and this church on it, and it definitely had the cord in the back. I had to double check there, but that was a really cool find. I've never seen that before, and that was only priced $3.99. It was really fun to take my toddler in with me, and it was just me and him today, and my baby was out in the car with my husband. So it was neat to see him looking through the Christmas stuff. He was very interested in it. He's really getting into Christmas this year and is very excited to see Santa, so it was really sweet. He really liked the Pez there with the Santa on it, so I grabbed that for him. He gets very interested in the various items, so I think he's going to be a fun little thrifting buddy in the future here. I saw this hanging down off the side, almost falling down between the cracks, and it appeared to be quite vintage, maybe around the 1950s or 60s. It is a candlestick holder of some sorts with that really thick plastic foliage, and I thought it was really neat. Now, I'm sure when I was on the other side, you guys noticed this white tree that I walked around to try to get to. I needed to take a closer look at it. It is a made in China newer item. I wasn't quite sure from where I was standing before if it was more vintage, but it was a newer one. It's still very pretty, but it wasn't something I was going to pick up for reselling purposes at this point in the season. They had a decent selection of these new in package, probably 1980s style candlesticks, and there was a couple there that I thought were pretty nice. I feel like a lot of people just use them for decor purposes. I don't really think anyone's really melting them down. That's why they've lasted all this time, because they definitely were opened at one point, but they were still perfectly intact. I found this adorable hand-painted kitchen decor pan featuring Sunbonnet Sue, and I believe the gentleman's name that is with her is Overall Sam, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I know this was a popular pattern among quilters, and a lot of people will sometimes confuse Sunbonnet Sue with Holly Hobbie because they do have similar looks, but there is a major difference, and you usually can tell because of the way the bonnet itself looks. Usually Sunbonnet Sue's face is completely covered and it's just the bonnet. So one thing I like about this thrift store is that they have this section of toys where they have just 2 or 3 of these big, large open tubs of random toys, and they have them marked 5 for $2. So you can kind of pick and choose, and it's really nice because you don't have to have the grab bags and get things you don't want. So it's really neat to sift through. I found some vintage 1980s figures before, which I like to collect myself. And my son likes to get a treat, you know, as most kids do. So it's an inexpensive way for him to get a few new toys to play with, and he gets to enjoy it, and it doesn't cost too much money. And of course, they're very easy to redonate when he's done playing with them, and we can purchase new ones, and we're not out a whole lot. So it's something fun that he likes to do. Oh, like that. And then you have, I think it's like a little play.
Yeah?
Do you think we should get this for Charlotte? Do you think Charlotte would like it?
Yeah, maybe he could play. Show him a toy.
Is it Peppa Pig? It's a Peppa Pig house.
Peppa Pig house?
I don't know if it's all Peppa Pig stuff, but yeah, isn't that Peppa Pig? Or no, what is that?
That's
Olivia and Julian or something like that, right?
Julian.
How much is it? That might be kind of fun to play with.
Yeah.
You think baby would like it?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see a price on it. Oh, it's $4.99. It's not too bad.
Not too bad.
You want to get it?
Oh,
Should we buy it?
yeah.
Yeah. I did find one 1980s vintage Kermit toy for myself. I do know this thrift store likes to mark their purses up pretty high. This one was priced at $8.99, which is very gorgeous, and it's a good price if you're keeping it, but I wanted it to resell, and I don't feel like it was a whole lot to be made off of it for that price, so I did not take it with me, but yeah, it's super cute for anyone that wanted to keep it. This coaster set was a super bummer. Did you see the bottom of that? It's some type of a glass or very hard plastic, and it melted down underneath, and it was so wonky it wouldn't lay flat. It was the only one like that, but I think they were asking about $5 for it, and it just felt weird just buying it and having to kind of discard the one and only having a set of 3, so I did leave it behind. When I do purchase tins, this is usually the thrift store I do so because they have a decent selection of very good condition ones. They are vintage or vintage inspired, and yeah, I always tend to pick up 1 or 2 when I visit this store. It is rare to find sets of glasses at this thrift store. There was a couple that matched today, which is kind of nice. I like those light green ones. They kind of have some hobnail to it. I don't think they were older though. I'm not really sure what they were. This one here did appear to be vintage, but it was just the one glass, and I considered getting it, but I've been trying to do better about not picking up glasses that are just one-offs and trying to just stick to at least a set of 4 if I pick up something like that. Just tends to sell a bit better. The coffee mugs are, again, something I'm trying to stay away from if they're just singles, unless they are vintage and vintage milk glass ones, such as this teacher mug. It wasn't priced very high, and I was a little confused by what the genie bottle was about on the teacher mug, so it's definitely something I'll have to look into. I did purchase that one. They did have another milk glass mug here. It was unmarked, and I did consider getting it, but the inside had some kind of weird defects. It was kind of too scratched up for my liking, so I didn't purchase that one. I know I found one other one. We'll see if I can find it while we're looking here, if I saw anything else that intrigued me. I can't quite remember when I saw it, but I know I found one. Maybe it's down here. Is it down here? No? Where is it? Where is it? I know I got one. Ah, there it is. So this one was cool because it was bright yellow, and it's actually a Federal. It's marked Federal on the bottom. It's Lake George, New York. I have no idea where that is, but for them to be able to put it on a vintage mug, I'm sure it was a very nice place for families to go, or has some kind of sentimental value to somebody, so I thought that was cool. I like this Fred mug because my grandfather's name is Fred, but it was so damaged and filthy, so I couldn't get it, and it was super tiny. I was considering picking it up and using it as a planter, but I did leave it behind. I don't know, maybe I should have got it for that reason. They had this set of 6 amber glass dessert bowls. I did not pick those up. Amber glass just doesn't sell very well for me, so I have stopped picking up that particular color. I thought this Indian beer stein, I guess is what it is, was very interesting and very beautiful. It had a lot of different symbols around the Indian head. I wasn't quite sure what was going on there, but it was cool. And yeah, on the bottom shelf, they had these really cool, I believe they're hand painted or they were like a, like a stick on, what do they call that? Like a, yep, my brain won't think here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And then they glazed over it and like a transferware, right? So they weren't priced too bad. That was $4. I found the most adorable coaster set. This is a handmade canvas set and it's in a Valentine's kind of heart theme. I thought this would be perfect for the upcoming Valentine's Day season. So I was definitely going to pick that up. Super cute. It seems to be brand new, so very cool find there. Now you're about to see a really neat set that I found on the bottom shelf. And it was a complete set. It was in good condition. And it was all there, like it's nested inside of itself. So it has flour, sugar, tea, and coffee maybe. I can't quite remember what all of the lettering is. But I believe this is probably from around the 1970s, maybe the late 60s, but I think it's a 1970s set. And I was definitely happy to find that. I've yet to decide if I'm going to resell it or keep it. You guys know that I like green and vintage decor, so it's potentially staying with me. We'll have to see. I have been getting into looking through the crafting section a lot more at the thrift stores lately. I like to craft for Christmas using vintage Christmas items, and that's basically the only crafting I do, so I've just been on the hunt for some things I can use in my different displays for that. But now you guys know those coasters I got. I found another handmade canvas piece. I thought that was really adorable. It was heart-shaped as well, so I thought that would make for another good Valentine's Day display item. And then yet another canvas piece I came across was this Bugs Bunny, maybe like a journal cover or an iPad holder. I thought it was super cute. It has a vintage TV on it. And then I just kept seeing the handmade canvas items. There were a ton. I kept digging and digging and digging. I picked up several of these. They all seem to be brand new. Someone put a lot of time into making these, and it's sad they ended up at the thrift store. So you guys can check those out a little bit better in my thrift haul that I'll be sharing with you guys tomorrow, where I'll talk more about what I paid for everything and the things that I am going to resell, what I think I can make off of them. So hit the subscribe button down below to make sure you don't miss it. How pretty is this black vase with this beautiful iridescent inlay? I thought it was gorgeous, and it appeared to be a metal instead of a ceramic that you usually find, so it was a bit unusual, very pretty. I can't help myself. Every single time I have to look through the vases, there are always so many stunning vases out there. And even if you don't use them for flowers, they're really just nice to put on a shelf as a nice accent. And I love this piece. It had this huge chip on it. I was so bummed out. You can see it towards the back there on the top. But that was really gorgeous, and it looked pretty old, probably maybe around the 1960s. I was surprised to see even more Christmas in this section. I thought I had seen it all up front, but they did have a few more items over here. And I first spied this double angel set here. It is on a music box. It was not priced, and I went up and asked her to see how much it would be, and I believe she gave me the price of $1.99, which was totally reasonable. And it seemed to be all intact. It didn't seem to be re-glued or anything. You know, a lot of times the angels might have a wing that has been glued back on, but it was really cute. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if this happens to you or if you guys can relate. I feel like with any holiday or season, we get excited for it and we are looking for the items ahead of time. So we'll say like maybe a month ahead of time, and then once the season actually gets there, you're not as excited anymore and you're ready to move on before you actually celebrate what you were so excited about to begin with. You know, summertime is here, you're getting ready for fall, and then fall gets here, and you're kind of over fall by the time it gets here, and you're ready for Christmas and winter and such. You guys know what I'm talking about. I wish we could just slow down. I don't know why we all tend to do this. I feel like everyone does. You'll have to let me know if it's just me or just some weird observation I see in my area, but yeah, I just don't quite understand why we can't just enjoy the seasons as they come. Thought this was very adorable, this nice handmade item. There was a Santa one behind it as well. I think someone hand stitched the lettering into that in the fireplace. Everything about it was very cute. Kind of frilly, but I'm sure someone would definitely like that. I believe there's a little bit of a stain on it is why I left it behind. And it is a little bit late in the season, so I'm not picking up quite as much Christmas decor as I was. I am trying to be a little bit more selective now. I don't want to have to store it all for the next 8 months. I thought this was really cute. It's a little schoolhouse trinket jewelry box. It did have, I think the issue was it wouldn't close all the way. I was going to get it, but you see how it just had this big gap and I couldn't figure out how to get it to shut completely, so I did not get that. I know it might be a good item to pick up. Sometimes people like to purchase teacher gifts, and I was kind of considering it for that, but since it didn't shut, I figured I wouldn't. I really liked the looks of this dog. It was hand-painted, some type of a planter. There was a huge crack in it, or a chip. I can't quite remember. I think there was a crack on that side, so I put it back, but I loved the way it looked. It was very cool. Do you guys see what I see? I found a vintage Donald Duck ornament. So stinking cute. It's one of those felted ones. I am a huge fan of Donald Duck. I don't really like Disney that much, but I've always liked Donald Duck, and I have a small Donald Duck collection, so I was stoked when I saw that. Prepare yourself to see the creepiest yet most endearing Easter Bunny you've ever seen. How cute is that guy? I love his little teeth sticking out. They had this vintage Sesame Street Grover. Is it Grover? Yeah, Grover music box. He's like a little cowboy. It was kind of cute. It was only 99 cents. And yeah, I've never seen that before. I would guess maybe around the 1970s, 80s for that on age. But yeah, I like this section. I like the little short shelves. They're very easy to see everything at a glance very quickly, and it's always a good time to look through. They have these really cute frog bird bath things. I don't really know what you would use them for. Maybe they're just soap dishes. But they're super cute. I really like this little vintage toy car. I guess it's some type of a shaker probably. Something I've been in search for lately are fairy lamps. It's just something I've seen on Pinterest, and I love the way they look. I never see them at the thrift store, but I'm always on the lookout. That's what I've been looking for the last month or two. I did find this adorable little duck planter. I thought it was super cute. I'm sure someone would love to put that in their spring and Easter decor. Who can resist picking up the adorable puppy set, right? They are a vintage Homeco, and I tend to pick up the Homeco items if I see them, the little figurines, especially if they're in their complete sets. I tend to leave the items up by the cash register for last because they do tend to be priced a little bit higher, but I do enjoy looking at them, and they usually are reasonable considering what they usually have to offer. I didn't see a whole lot up there today, so I guess it was good for my wallet, but it would have been fun to find some interesting things. I thought my son might be interested in this Mickey Mouse keychain, but he decided he did not want it. You'll be surprised to see what he did want here in a second. They had this really well-made vegetable set up there. He goes, "Oh, spicy peppers!" He was very excited. He didn't want the pear, but he wanted the 4 spicy peppers, and he went over and put them in the cart. So they were only marked 49 cents a piece. Who am I to disappoint my child, right? Super cute that he wanted those. They have this small display of salt and pepper shakers that I always like to look at when I'm there. I do pick them up every now and then, but I didn't see anything that interested me today. And they have so many shelves. There's so much stuff to take in at this thrift store. You really could spend several hours there if you wanted to sift through everything, especially on the lower shelves, which I don't, to be honest, tend to look at as much. I don't really like crouching down. It's just one of those things you don't like to do as you age a little bit, right? I really like this woman figurine, but it actually was a bell, and I can't, guys. I can't pick up any more bells. They're not selling very well. She might have, though. I really thought these were interesting little containers. They're probably from maybe the 1980s or maybe 70s or 60s. They have that kind of pastel color where they were popular in the 40s and 50s, so who knows where they were from, but they were super cute. Thanks so much for thrifting along with me. I hope you guys enjoyed shopping with me and the voiceover. They were playing loud music. That's why my son was dancing and I had to voice over the video. We can't be getting copyright strikes, right? So thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. And be sure to hit the subscribe button on your way out so you can catch more videos like this from me in the future. And hit that bell so you can be notified tomorrow when the thrift haul to the shopping trip goes up. So we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.